Hello again guys, it's Carly from the Poetry of Nice, and today I have another weekly comment roundup for you guys. So if you've been watching my channel for more than a week, you'll see that I started this new sort of mini series just to try it out, where I'm taking 5 random comments from throughout the week that you guys have left on my video, and I am answering them in person in its own little video, which is what this is today. So I'm going to be pulling up 5 comments from random people, and I'm going to be answering those questions for you, and they are all reseller related. So if you're new to my channel, this is content all to do with reselling online. I personally sell on eBay, Etsy and Poshmark, and I do so part-time while being a stay-at-home parent, work-at-home parent, whatever you want to call it. I sell items that I find at thrift stores, church rummage sales, yard sales, all that kind of stuff. Anything from vintage clothing and hard goods to contemporary clothing and a bunch of stuff in between. So if that sounds interesting, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button down below, and don't forget to say hi in the comments as well so I can say hello back. Okay guys, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and crack on with the first comment. So I'm on my phone, don't think I'm rude, but I'm pulling up the comment to read it to you, and I'll pop it up here as well so you can read it yourself. The first one that I'm answering today is by Lynn Kremdel, and she says, "Love your videos." Thank you so much. Don't mind at all hearing your kids in the background. Thank you again. I know they can be noisy. I apologise still. Question, how do you find out as to old and new garment tags? Thanks. Okay, so that is a wonderful question. I mention a lot in my videos, sometimes like the age of a piece, if it's a vintage piece, or sometimes I'll just say like that this is the newer label of like a more contemporary piece of clothing. So when it comes to vintage clothing, the #1 resource I will share with you, and I will pop it down below in the description box as well, is the vintagefashionguild.org. And so that is going to allow you to go in there, you can plug in the brand name, and as long as they have a record of it, you can browse through basically different brand labels from that brand throughout the eras. So something like Nike, for instance, is going to start like, I don't know, 1970s or whatever it is, and it's going to take you through all the different variations, or most of them at least, so that if you find a piece that you know is vintage but you just don't know how to date it, you're going to be able to cross-reference with that website and hopefully find something that's either exactly the same as your like color combination and the graphics on your brand label and things like that, or at least is close enough to give you a starting point as you pursue some more research with that vintage item. In terms of the more contemporary clothing, for me it's really a case of watching other people on YouTube sharing their finds and talking about their knowledge as well. So I've picked up from quite a few different people when a tag is new versus old. And also another top tip I would give you is to go to the brand's website. Oftentimes you can see how their logo, their brand logo, has evolved. Okay, next question. Question number 2 is from Molly Spots, and it says, "Curious, what's your view on Chico's?" I know larger sizes do better, but wondering if it works for you. Thanks. Okay, so I've mentioned Chico's several times in haul videos and sales videos, and I'm having a bit of a roller coaster with it right now. I very recently said that Chico's is one of those brands where I keep picking it up because I find it so cheap at rummage sales and things like that around where I am, with maybe like a slightly older demographic that donates, and I'll pick it up for like maybe 50 cents or something, and it will sit for me forever. Like, I cannot move it. However, brace yourself, I've sold like 4 pieces of Chico's in the last 2 or 3 weeks on Poshmark, which is not something that I saw coming. So primarily I was listing on eBay, and then I just recently started cross-posting it over to Poshmark. And granted, these aren't pieces that are completely like out of style. They're nice pieces, like maybe like a geometric print or like a waterfall front cardigan, you know, like maybe more of like a holiday themed piece as we were in winter and stuff like that, like oversized sweaters and stuff. So they're definitely not like not on trend, as it were, but I didn't think that they would move as well for me as they did in Poshmark, and actually they're moving for good prices, anywhere between the $20 to $30 range. So my view on Chico's is very much to do with if it's on trend or not, or if it is at least a classic style that can carry through for different demographics, essentially. Now, don't think that the only people that shop on Poshmark are like the young, trendy, boho, hip people. That's just not true. Like, everybody shops there, as far as I can tell. There's definitely younger people who are into completely different styles. You know, there's people who shop primarily for vintage clothing, for like rockabilly clothing, goth clothing, everything you can think of. And then there is a slightly older demographic as well, seeking those more classic, mature style pieces. So I would say just use your judgment. Also take into account your price point. If it is super cheap and you think, you know, you think it's a nice piece, maybe it has a nice fabric fabric content to it. It's a good size, definitely larger does seem to help. I would say like the Chico's has vanity sizing, so I would say size 2 and 3 is where I like to try and keep it, but I'm not afraid of picking up size 1 or even size 0 if it's a really nice piece for a very good price point. It just depends. So that is my thought right now on Chico's. Asterisk, it could change in the future. Okay, comment number 3 is not a question, it is just a statement, but it's a very useful one. So it's from Dawn Lovejoy, and it says, I screenshot my eBay sold listings to a Pinterest board as a reference for future sourcing. I think that's really cool. So I never thought of doing that. And the thing with eBay is after 3 months have passed, your sold listings will roll off, i.e. you won't be able to see them or access them anymore. I have problems with this when I try and do sales roundups for you guys on videos, and I can't go further than 3 months back to show you some of the items that have sold, which is such a shame. However, if I had pinned them to my Pinterest board, I would at least have had that for reference point for like sharing that information with you guys. So even outside of that, right, like what she said was for using it for sourcing to remind yourself what brands had sold for in the past. I think that is such a good idea. I actually don't really utilize Pinterest very much right now, and I've heard some wonderful things about it in terms of Poshmark. When you list, you can move a little toggle that also will post to like Facebook and Pinterest and different things like that, and Twitter at the same time. I really don't utilize that at all when I'm posting listings, but I'm thinking of like playing around with Pinterest a bit more and stuff as I list items, and maybe I need to start doing that with eBay as well, just to keep a little collection for myself to remind me how I've done in the past with different brands, or even if I've like sold a piece before and I find a similar piece, and that's going to help me with my keywords and things like that. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I thought it was a really valuable comment, and maybe it could help some other people too as we try to stay organized while we're sourcing. Okay, comment number 4 is from Debbie Phillips, and it says, another great video. Thank you, Debbie. I went out today but didn't find anything. Oh, I hate that feeling. That is, yes, I hear you. I did, however, sell my first 2 items yesterday, so super excited about that. That's amazing. Go you. I had a question. If someone likes an item, do you immediately send them a response with possibly a discount? This is Poshmark, by the way. Also, do you have a video on bundling? Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Okay, so I feel like how I treat offers for likers is ever evolving. So currently, I've spoken to you guys before about it, I am very proactive with offers to likers. So I list all of my items towards the top of market value, meaning that I give myself some wiggle room there so that if someone likes an item, I can go in and not only can I offer a discount to them immediately as they're shopping, perhaps in the middle of, you know, impulsively shopping. I don't know. Not that I'm trying to catch anyone out, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes we see things and then we and ah about it and we talk ourselves out of it. Well, if someone's shopping and they're considering an item of mine, I do like to offer them an incentive that would maybe help them, you know, move forward with that purchase rather than just saving it to think about and then changing their minds later. So I am proactive with that, truth be told. So yes, I send my offer to likers out almost immediately when I see someone has offered a liker, and I also make sure that I'm pricing my items not only to make room for the discount there, because I want to make sure that my profit margins are secure and I'm not selling an item and barely making anything on it because I'm offering discounts, but also to account for that $1.50 shipping discount that you have to include with an offer to likers. So that's my tip with that, is just to make sure you've got all your numbers in a row, make sure what the lowest number is that you're going to go down to on an item, and remember that shipping discount so that you're not harming your profit margins. And I'll also mention as well that I've just recently discovered how to, and this seems like I should have known this a long time ago, and I apologise for that, but I've just started sending out offers in bundles. So what that means is that if somebody comes along and likes 2 or more of my items, I will click on their name, and I am going to do a video on this, like just actually with a screenshot showing you guys exactly how to do it to kind of take out any of the complication that, you know, happens as I'm trying to describe it to you. But you click on the name, you click on the little like bundle, looks like almost like a little shopping bag at the top, and then you do the dots and you switch to sell view, and that will show you all of the items that person has liked in your closet. You can then add each item individually to the bundle and send an overall offer for that bundle to that person. And I've started using that about a week to a week and a half ago, and I've made 3 bundle sales from doing that. And again, I do that immediately as soon as I see somebody has liked it. Now, if they're liking several items or adding them to a bundle, I usually give them a little bit of breathing room just in case they're still browsing and there might be some more things that they would want to add in that situation. But overall, I do keep an eye on it, and I am pretty forthcoming with those discounts. And I will also mention that if you add something to a bundle, whether it be one item by itself in the method I just described, or if it's several items to that bundle, you can actually make an offer on those items without having to add in a shipping discount. So for instance, I have a pair of earrings that I don't want to price too high because I feel like that will be off-putting to people, especially with like the high shipping and stuff like that they have to pay. But at the same time, I don't want to keep offering lower and adding in a shipping discount that's going to make my profit margins really, really low. So when somebody likes them, I often go in just like the way I described to you and add it to a bundle for them, and then I make them an offer to lower the price of the earrings without being sort of forced, as it were, to adding that $1.50 shipping discount as well, because it's a lower priced item, and $1.50 on say a $12 item after you add in another discount as well really starts to eat into things. So that would just be one of my tips, is play around with that and see if it can work for you at all. And again, if you want to see a video on that, stay tuned, click the subscribe button, because I am going to do that just to kind of demystify it a little bit for anyone who's wondering. Okay, and the final comment number 5 today is from Wanderlust1864. I like your name. Howdy, I'm new to your channel Instagram. I love your videos. Hello, and thank you so much for watching. Question, do you start buying winter stuff from now and sticking them in your pile? Do you have luck selling coats? Thanks. Okay, what an awesome question. Yes, I do. I buy things no matter the season all year long, and I do this because I shop at primarily rummage sales and yard sales, sometimes estate sales, and sometimes very infrequently, unless it's like the dead of winter and I'm desperate, thrift stores. And so those places like filler bags and rummage sales allow me to keep my cost of goods really, 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 really low. And like we're talking like 50 cents to $1 per piece, sometimes less. And so what I do is I keep lots and lots of totes in my garage, and I do pick up things of all seasons all year long. I am notorious for picking up Christmas sweaters all year long, and then as soon as September hits, I just start listing them en masse. Because once you hit the winter season, if you go into a thrift store, you're going to see those ugly Christmas sweaters pop up, and they're going to be priced, at least around me, $15 to $20 a piece, because you know, 'tis the season. So I do that. I do that with everything you can think of. Swimwear in the winter time, coats, boots, everything. And I do list it year round as well, however I prioritize. So if I have a big pile of stuff to list and it's, I don't know, March, I am going to prioritize listing swimwear and shorts and short sleeve dresses and layering pieces and things like that over ugly Christmas sweaters. However, if I run out of things to list and I'm not going to a thrift store, I will absolutely put those seasonal items up. Christmas and Halloween and all those kind of things do sell all year round. January, February, it doesn't matter. They just don't sell as frequently. So I certainly wouldn't hold off listing just because you think there's no point. There's always a point, but I would prioritize according to the season and what you think is going to be moving at the moment, and what's the most important for you to have up to attract people into your closet or into your eBay store. In terms of if I have luck selling coats, yes, I do, absolutely. I start listing, well, I list them all year round, but I start pushing coats and sweaters come sort of September or end of August, September time, when people will start to think about the next season, as well as things like jeans and boots, and again, like, you know, heavier knits and things like that. So yes, I would absolutely pick up coats as long as you have somewhere to store them, because they are harder to store. And you know, somewhere like Poshmark is a lot easier because they have the standard shipping rate. As long as it's not so big that it's over £5, they're still only spending $6.49 to ship it. Whereas eBay, you know, I would definitely consider weight and things like that, because that's going to affect how the buyer perceives your listing according to what the shipping costs are. Alright guys, I really hope that that helped some of you people who sent me those wonderful comments and really got me thinking. It's such a pleasure to read them and to talk back and forth with you. I will still respond if I haven't already through the comments, because I love to say hi and I love to just talk back and forth and get to know you guys. But I wanted to stick a few of them in a video as well, just in case anybody is wandering past and wanted to pick up a few tips along the way. Okay you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe if you want to see more. Don't forget to say hello down below, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.